out-heal them in greens. My friends, today I'm going to share with you my updated build for Preservation Evoker in the World of Warcraft, the War Within, patch 11.1, Undermined. So, I still believe that the Evoker, Preservation Evoker, is an amazing face roll friendly healer that will allow you to either top the meters of healing meters, that whatever the add-on you're using, I use details, or it will allow you to really be competitive, and competitive with what my son calls the sweats, the sweaty players, the ones who already scored item levels 670, 660 for sure, so they are exceeding the item level of this particular evoker at the moment of recording of this background footage that you're watching by about 50 to 60 item levels. That's a massive gap, I'm sure you would agree. So when I say out-heal them, I am telling you, you are going to be out-healing much better geared people while wearing greens, or you're going to be competing and tussling with the biggest of the sweaty boys. I don't push high mythic keys. I believe that this non-sweaty, very, very accessible, super face roll friendly build is primarily shining in places like LFR, looking for raid or any other form of raiding. Is it usable anywhere else? Absolutely. I have healed even Bran the tank in delving, so it's usable in the smaller scale environments. It's usable in some sort of not too challenging dungeons. If you are trying to push high mythic keys, surely you wouldn't be looking for a face roll friendly out-heal them in greens kind of build, would you? But right now I have an astonishing item level of 616. I have a lot of greens that we are out-healing people in. Now, how am I playing this? From what you can see, all I'm doing is, in this face roll friendly way, is before the pool and throughout the pool, I'm using Temporal Anomaly. I'm shooting Temporal Anomaly, and it's all about positioning yourself in such a way that the Temporal Anomaly passes through as many people in your raid as possible. That is your biggest idea. Another trick, and probably just one of the two tricks that basically allow me to out-heal a lot of people, is how I use Dream Breath. Dream Breath is our main heal over time. It has a very, very high potency, especially the better gear you get, of course. A lot of people would hold this and try and charge it to the maximum charge before they release, right? That's what they would do. And that is a mistake in my humble opinion, at least at my level of healing in non-competitive environments, in not high mythic keys, but I said that enough already. Why? It takes too long to charge, it can be interrupted, as well as the duration of the heal over time component that way is the shortest. The duration of heal over time is only 4 seconds, so it means that it will dish out a lot of healing, but you have to time it absolutely perfectly in order for you to capitalize on that massive healing fitting into that window immediate plus 4 seconds after. What's much better? Much better is to release after level 1. Boom, straight up. What does that do? That heals them for a bit, not that much, and gives the massive afterwards component of healing over 16 seconds. That allows the raid to move around, that allows the certain things to happen, that allows you to be imperfect, which is the amazing thing. So, bread and butter of this build is Temporal Anomaly and Dream Breath. We are going to talk separately about the talents, but I'm going to quickly tell you that I am the Flame Shaper in this particular case. And Flame Shaper gives you an awesome ability, instant cast ability called Engulf. Engulf does either damage or it does healing. And its effectiveness is increased by 50% for each overtime effect on the target. So now imagine this. If you do Dream Breath, and that's 1 heal overtime on your targets, and then after that, you also perhaps even throw Emerald Blossom, that gives a little bit of heal over time effect, but much shorter duration. And that is when you hit Engulf. At that point in time, your Engulf hits like a truck, even in greens. So if you play smartly and use those two main abilities I already talked to you about enough, as well as time it really well with Engulf, as well as then absolute bread and butter is Emerald Blossom. There is no point of running around with Emerald Blossom not being on cooldown. You should absolutely have Emerald Blossom wherever you can put it, yeah? And then beyond that, you could always use Echo in order to make your Living Flame hit more than one target. So you use Echo and then you use Living Flame on someone. Preversion, the ones that are healing for 15% of damage that was incurred in the last 5 seconds. And things such as Verdant Embrace. Verdant Embrace flies. Yes, it flies, but it heals for a lot. The best thing about Verdant Embrace is just how much healing, almost 500,000 of healing. It does. Rewind is a massive cooldown. You save it until things are really dire, and then you press rewind. Tip the Scales is going to make your next empowered spell instant cast and hit for a maximum. So, for example, you save it for a bad situation, you press Tip the Scales, then you can hit Dream Breath instantly and heal everyone and make things a little bit easier for the whole group. Self-healing mainly is achieved for this build with Renewing Blaze. Renewing Blaze is on 1 minute cooldown, but basically 100% of the damage that doesn't kill you, of course, is going to be healed back to you over the next 8 seconds. That's awesome. If there is a splash AoE going on, you're about to take a lot of damage and you're too busy saving everyone. You know you're not going to die, but you know you're going to take a lot of damage. Renewing Blaze is something that you're going to use. As you can see, I have here pure attack spells such as Disintegrate. Sometimes I use a Living Flame aggressively. That is purely for my delving. If you're trying to turn it purely into healing build and you're not worried about doing any damage whatsoever, helping Brand, whatever, then you could probably replace these keybinds that I've used very for my simplicity. It's quite efficient for me. I don't like to click around too much. Then you can replace these extra keybinds that I have currently on Fire Breath, on Disintegrate. Mainly Fire Breath and Disintegrate are taking up this central panel for me. Then you're going to use keybinds for something else. You of course can use Deep Breath as well, some things like that if you're trying to be super helpful as a very helpful Draconid. But it goes without saying, and I don't think that I need to advertise that too much. Our main movement ability is Hover. Obviously, you are extending Hover's duration with some of the talents. It is wonderful. It frees you up from any impairment, as far as I can remember. If I'm mistaken, please feel free to correct me. I'm not pretending to be a pro here. All I'm saying to you, again, what I said on the cover. It is easy, very easy to out-heal people who are outgearing you vastly in this particular build. Final thing, final stop for today, are the talents which you of course already have grabbed probably as an import string in the description of this video below. While you're there, why not give me a quick like? If you're still watching, especially, thank you very much for your support. As you can see, I'm more interested in filling out the tree itself rather than reaching the real final bits of this build. So I didn't take Dreamflight, for example, because I personally, for my own gameplay style, I do see a lot of things that are very useful here. For example, Call of Ysera is great, would have been great. Ouroboros is great. Yeah, Renewing Breath to increase Dream Breath healing, 100%, absolutely. And I might play with permutations of this build, but currently I'm leaning towards a little bit more towards the yellow sandy time-based spells. That's why this is where we're going. And our centerpiece still, I believe, yes, of course, Dream Breath is amazing, but our centerpiece is Temporal Anomaly. Other than Flame Shaper, I could have gone Chronowarden. And I have tested it with Chronowarden as well. Chronowarden essentially empowers and makes it more useful your Living Flame. Yes, Living Flame is your bread and butter spell. I made that decision when I decided that it's going to be not purely and exclusively a healing spec. It's going to be also a damaging spec for delving with Bran. And in Gulf, yes, it's an extra button, but it hits very hard if you sometimes choose to help Bran and you try to hit some elite with that massive orbital strike, so to speak. Otherwise, I think you can obviously play with Chronowarden. Tell me in the comments down below if you're playing Preservation Evoker and if you're also using Temporal Anomaly a lot. Of course, you would have a slightly different preference if you're more of a green healer, if you're more of a Dream Breath based healer, as you can see. I am not so much, but I am very happy to create an alternative spec on this, experiment on this, and especially if you want to talk more about healing, I am happy to test a different spec, say more inclined towards green, and report to you again of how that is doing. It's a face roll based build that is amazingly performing in raids, LFR. It's gonna make you feel good about yourself, as well as the numbers don't lie. You're going to be helping your raid freaking massively while not even being that skilled. That is what I think is what makes this build amazing. And these are the builds that I'm very attracted to, and all of my builds are similar to this. So if you're not subscribed yet, I reckon you should tell me, first of all, Gyro, give us more of similar builds so that I know that I should prioritize this kind of content. And then we can talk a little bit more about Preservation Evokers, Restoration Shaman, and Mistweaver Monks, and so on and so forth. Any questions and you think that I can help you? Don't be shy. Just don't think that I'm an expert or someone who pretends to be an expert. Otherwise, anything is welcome in the comments below. Let's talk. Enjoy the build. Import is in the description. I'll see you later. Goodbye for now.